our Milky Way is located in a group of galaxies called the local group of galaxies. And the local group includes the Milky Way galaxy, the Andromeda spiral galaxy, some 2 million light years away, and so forth. But we live in a very intriguing universe, a universe in which we see what is known as the cosmic web. What is this mysterious cosmic web? Well, basically, there are bubbles and voids, just like in the structure of a sponge. And then on the linings of the bubbles, you'll find delineations of galaxies. So it's very much like a sponge distribution, or like bread, rising bread with yeast, is that you've got your bubbles, your voids, and then you've got the walls, if you like, of the bubbles delineated by myriads of galaxies. And so you have galaxies in groups, in clusters, in superclusters, and so on. But it forms like almost a web type pattern in our majestic cosmos. Now, one of the theories very recently proposed is called the Timescape Cosmology. This is a very different cosmology in which energy of photons changes from point to point in the universe. For example, if the gravitational force field is rather high, the time dilation effect will be much higher in those domains of high gravitational force fields than there will be in voids where the gravitational force fields are a lot weaker. And so what the Timescape cosmology attempts to do is to get rid of dark energy. Very bold attempt, that is, to get rid of this substance, if you like, which causes our universe to accelerate. And instead, it invokes the time dilation, very well studied, of course, by Albert Einstein, that what we are actually seeing, instead of just galaxies receding, is that we're seeing photons of light whose energy changes as a function of position. In other words, the Timescape cosmology is not homogeneous at all. You've got the cosmic web, and it's very much dependent on where you're looking at the universe from. Of course, there's some mysterious consequences of this, because if you look at the universe in one direction, you might get a certain age. When you look at a slightly different direction, if you happen to be looking through not bubbles and voids, but through the walls of some galaxies, the energy shift might be different. Well, it's still very early days to comment on the validity of the Timescape cosmology, but essentially what it tries to do is to try and solve one of the great problems in astrophysics and cosmology, and that is, what is dark matter and what is dark energy? There seems to be this very mysterious force which causes our universe to be expanding moment by moment, and Brian Schmidt and others won the Nobel Prize for this. That's within the standard Big Bang cosmology. Timescape tries to tackle the problem rather differently, or very differently, and only, I believe, decades of future observations will help us delineate whether there's any validity whatsoever to the Timescape cosmological models. But so intriguing. And I'd like to end off with this note: in the beginning was God. And whichever cosmological model we eventually settle for, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.